Hi, everyone. Welcome into the Peace and Love podcast. I'm your host, Siva. Thanks for joining us today. Today, I'm excited to help you get exactly what you want. So this inspiration just comes from the fact that people don't realize that in order to get whatever they want to achieve, they have to have some type of clarity around what that actually means and start putting themselves in alignment. It's not enough to simply just want something, but you have to align yourself to it. Whether we're talking about self-love, whether we're talking about confidence, or maybe even something physical like a car or money. It's a universal principle. It works all the way around. So today we're going to talk about self-love, confidence, and everything else, how you're going to get there, and what steps you need to be taking in order to align and thrive and ask for what you want, right? Instead of just waiting around or simply wanting it or wishing for it. So here's the real truth about getting what you want. Energy, time, love, attention, money, confidence, the list goes on and on. These things only come to you as needed. If you have nothing to do in a day, you don't need a bunch of energy. If you have the intention of just saving all of your money, you really don't need money for anything. If you just plan on sitting in the house, why do you need all of this confidence? I think the number one mistake that people tend to make when wanting things is they don't actually have a plan for what are you actually going to do with all of this money? What are you actually going to do with all of this spare time? Are you going to use it to watch more Netflix, what you're doing now? What are you going to do with more self-love? Are you going to use it to put on the outfit that you want to wear or show up as that version of yourself that you claim to want to be, yet you're kind of still afraid to show everyone? The real mistake in thinking here isn't necessarily the lack of clarity, but the thought pattern that says someday, sometime, I will have this circumstance and then I can XYZ. Someday I will have the confidence and then I can go talk to the really super attractive guy. Someday I will have the self-love so I can go outside and wear a bathing suit. Someday I will have the time to do my hobbies. Someday I will have the money to donate. And while these are all great in theory, okay, that's true. Someday it may happen. In order to bridge that gap, you cannot think that way. In order to start living as a new version of yourself, in order to attract a new circumstance, you have to be somebody else and you have to operate from the reality, from the expectations, the attitude of someone who already has that. The root of the thing is okay, for some reason, your nervous system doesn't feel safe wearing that bathing suit. For some reason, you do not feel good going up and talking to that guy. Okay, that's not a problem. We can bridge that gap. But how are you supposed to start bridging that gap without actually putting your toe in the water? How do you expect your body to start feeling safe going and talking to new people if you won't talk to new people? How do you expect your body, your mind to start feeling comfortable enough to wear a bikini if you don't even own the bikini? And that might be a stretch, but seriously, if you want all of this resource, whatever the resource is, what are you planning on doing with it? And on top of that, how can you start bridging the gap today? How can you start getting a little bit closer to there today? Because a lot of the stuff we tell ourselves is BS. There's no reason that you can't put on the swimsuit today, even if there's no water to go to. If that's your goal, put it on today and feel confident. If your goal is to start approaching people in public and start making more friends, there's no reason why you can't go up and talk to someone today. Or maybe a step closer would be just smiling and waving at a new person. If your goal is to have more money so that you can support your mom, support her in the ways that you can today. Of course, it's not going to be at the level that you might want to have someday, but if you're not taking those baby steps, how are you going to start making those big steps? Literally, imagine if the baby's attitude was, I can't walk. I'll learn to walk someday, so I'll just sit here and wait until the day that I can walk. I'm not even going to try until I can walk, because someday I know I'll be able to walk. Huh? It's like you would say, baby, start walking. You're going to fall. You're going to fall a bunch of times. And then when you can kind of stand up, you're not going to be able to walk. And then when you stand up and try to walk, you're going to fall over. You're going to need to hold on to some things for support for a while. Yes, of course. This is part of your journey to walking. You would think it's insane for the baby to say, I'm just not going to try until the day that I can walk. Yet we do that with ourselves. Yet we do that with our confidence. We do that with our self-love. We do that with our financials. We sit and wait for the day that everything is perfect to just act. So the first step here is, if you feel like you're lacking something, you need the clear vision. Okay, why do you actually need that to move forward? If it is that more of that self-love, why do you feel like you need that? If it is that confidence, why do you feel like you need that? Even if it is something abstract, like, hey, I just want to feel better. That's still important to your journey. It's still important to your goal, because that's even the most important is how you feel. Because you could have all these external changes, all these external results, but at the end of the day, if you don't feel that, if you don't feel good, it's not going to mean a thing to you. You could have 1,000 men saying you're beautiful, saying you're this, that, and the third, quality men. But if you don't feel that, it's not going to mean a thing. You could be a multimillionaire, but if you don't feel abundant, what does that really do for you? Nothing. And this sounds absurd, but this is real life. There are really people who are in both of those situations. And so part of the way that you yourself can avoid those situations, because it happens for a lot of people when they use that mentality of, I'm only going to walk once it's happened, and then it actually happens for them. They haven't developed the internal setting to say, okay, yeah, this is me, I feel good. They haven't really developed what feeling good to them is. And so part of getting clarity on this is saying, okay, if I'm wanting these resources, whether it be the resource of fame, the resource of confidence, the resource of self-love, of money, of time, of attention, whatever the resource may be, it's like, okay, well, why do I want that? Does it bring a feeling? Does it bring a result? Does it bring a action? Does it bring anything else that you can think of? So now that you have that answer, you need to know that these aren't things that you just get. Self-love and confidence and resources in general aren't things that you just get. It's things that you step into, and you step into it by acting even before you are ready. Part of this can look like feeling the fear and doing it anyways. I don't even know how long it took me, but I know for a long time approaching people just didn't feel great. Yet I knew, okay, this is the lifestyle that I've chosen. I already knew this is what I want. So this little missing gap is just what's going to take to get me there. And so now that you know what you really need and why you need that, it's not a choice anymore. It's so easy to not do things that are hard when you don't have any reason to not do them. Okay, I don't need to go talk to that new person that I want to. I mean, what's it really going to do for me? I don't need to really apply myself in my business. What's that really going to do for me? What's that really going to do for me? I don't need to wake up and have time to meditate. What is that really going to get for me? But if you have a driving force, the real why, the real reason, like we were talking about, I have to get up and do my routine so that I can feel self-love, so that I can go out into the world and I can feel worthy. And with that worth, I can touch the lives of thousands and millions of other people. I must go talk to that new person, because that ties back into my mission of praising the highest high source and sharing my love with other people. And who knows, there might be an opportunity there. It's an excitement. It's part of why I love living. That's why I have to go do it. I must wear the outfit that I feel confident in and that I would love to wear, because I teach other people confidence, and part of me living confidence is embodying it in every single thing that I do. So like, these are examples from my life. It looks different for everybody, but if you don't have a real why behind something, of course there's no reason to do it. Of course you're going to talk yourself out of it. And it goes the other way around. If you get in the habit of doing something over and over and over again, and it has a big meaning to you, you're going to talk yourself into doing it. It's going to be the hardest thing you can possibly choose to do, but somehow you'll talk yourself into it because we do this every day. We have been doing this. It's important. Like if you have consistently gone to the gym, maybe you don't relate to this, and maybe a better example is brushing your teeth. For me, at least, like if you go to the gym consistently or you brush your teeth or do anything consistently, there might be a time where you're like, I want to skip. I don't really feel like going to the gym today. I'm really super tired. I don't want to brush my teeth. And then it comes a moment where you're talking yourself into it. Well, once I brush my teeth, my mouth will feel better. Once I go to the gym, I'll feel better. I'll get energy. I'll see my friend, this, that, and the third. Once you've been accustomed to doing things over and over and over and over and over, and there's a big why. I mean, to me, the big why behind brushing your teeth, I don't know about you, but I don't play about my gum health. I do not play about my teeth health. My worst nightmares, the worst of my nightmares is my teeth falling out. So I don't play about like that, right? So that's a huge why behind me brushing my teeth. Going to the gym, it's similar. Like I need to be around and be active for my children. I need to feel good just for myself. Like it helps you feel good in the moment. And the same thing I believe with brushing my teeth. Like this is a really good mindset shift that you can use. It's like the habit doesn't give you a good result. The habit is the good result. So I think I don't remember how old I was, but I was complaining to my mom about brushing my teeth. And she goes, but doesn't it feel so good though? And I don't think she actually really believed that, but I had never thought about that. And I said, what do you mean? And she's like, I just wanted you to think about that. Like, doesn't it feel so good to brush your teeth? And every time I brush my teeth now, I notice how my mouth feels so much better, how I love the mintiness, and like it really does feel really good brushing your teeth. And it's the same thing with the gym. You might not really want to go, I had the same conversation with my coach, like, I don't really want to go to the gym. I don't really want to work out. And he's like, well, but don't you get energy though? But afterwards, don't you feel so vital and so energized? And it's like, well, yeah, after I exercise, I always feel better. And so the habit itself, the action itself, you going up and talking to someone new in itself, you don't even have to get the number out of it, but you doing that feels good because you're honoring your desires. You're being the woman that you want to be. I could go on and on about this. It's the same thing with setting boundaries with people. It doesn't really matter if they say yes or if they say no, if they agree to honor your desires, if they agree to honor your boundaries. The fact is that you are asking for what you want. You are saying what will work for you. And you just expressing that is putting yourself in alignment with yourself. And doesn't that feel so good? So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what they say because you are in alignment with yourself now. You feel good as the woman that you are. You feel embodied. You feel in your power. And that is the result that you can't pay money to have. You being able to do that creates the feeling. It creates the end result. And so when you do act before you're ready, before you're feeling like, okay, I can go approach people really like effortlessly. I can go and look at myself in the mirror and, not spend an hour there trying to see like how much weight do I need to lose, blah, blah, blah. You can just relax and do the thing even before you are ready. And doing that in itself puts you in a different frequency, puts you in a different vibe, and aligns you to your highest self. None of this stuff is something that you just wake up with. Eventually, someday you do just wake up and it is your reality, but it's because of nights and days and weeks and months of putting in consistent effort that you wake up one day and now you're in your dream reality. Like self-love isn't something that just pops up. You are literally building it every single day through your actions, through everything that you say, everything that you think, everything that you do, everything that you eat, not just through your mouth, but through your ears, through your eyes, the environments that you're putting yourself in. everything is adding up to create that love energy. And if you really feel it on a day or not. And so one day you'll wake up feeling so recharged, so relaxed, so safe, so comfortable in your body. And it's like, what happened? Well, you changed all these little things that you were doing along the path. And in that, like we were talking about, and you felt better, but it created this drastic result. And now your life is completely different in every area just because of these little ways that you are raising your energy through honoring yourself through what you do. So I really want you to honor. If there is a desire for more in your life, that desire is there for a reason. I want you to say congratulations. You are hearing your soul. You are hearing your higher self. There's a reason that you feel like, okay, I really desire more self-love. I really desire more confidence. I really desire more life. And know that because you desire it, it's not that far away. You can implement things and get there like that. But it's a choice. And so what I want you to know is whatever you're desiring, we reverse engineered it. We talked about what are you actually needing that for? Do you need more confidence to go up, talk to new people, to present your ideas, to wear the thing that you want to wear? And I want you to start bridging that gap by actually doing those things. And I want you to start bridging that gap even more. I know you're probably already doing those things, but I want you to kick it up a notch. Do the things that you think that you're not ready for. With love energy, where do I want more love in my life now? How do I want my relationship with myself to be? Where am I putting myself in different environments now? And what do I really want that to look like? And really bridging that gap, doing things that you're not quite ready for. If that answer is, you know what, the highest expression of me loving myself is putting myself in uber rich environments, just environments that are luxurious, comfortable, appealing to my senses, my nose, my eyes, my ears. Maybe that's intimidating for you. Maybe it's intimidating to just go to the 5-star hotel in your city or a really expensive place. You're like, maybe I don't fit in there. But by doing the things that you're not ready for, like I said, you'll start becoming that person. And so, yeah, there used to be, this is hilarious. I haven't even thought of this. There used to be a time where I was uncomfortable in environments like that. But by putting myself in those environments over and over and over and over and over again, it's like the new normal. It wouldn't be right if it didn't smell good. It wouldn't be right if I wasn't in these and you don't have to, spend a lot of money or do these things. Like I used to go to, really rich places and not spend a dime. Really nice restaurants, really nice hotel lobbies, just hang out. Nobody I knew was staying there. Nobody had offered me to go swim in the pool yet, but I was just hanging out there because, I want to be there. And by doing that, eventually I started attracting circumstances. Okay, now I know people that stay in that hotel. Now I know people that invite me to go swimming up there. But if I had never put myself in that frequency, if I always said, oh, this environment is too scary, I wouldn't have attracted those type of people because I wouldn't be an energetic match. And if I did attract that, I would be too scared to actually go ahead on it. And so part of the thing is your desires probably scare you at a level. And if that's true, that's okay. You just need to train your nervous system that you can hold it. You can hold all of this amazing self-love. You can hold a lot of love from other people. It's totally possible for you. So you just need to start practicing and practicing and practicing that now. Time is a good example. If you had more time, what would you be doing with it? If you had all the time in the world, would you be stuck in indecision, or would you actually utilize that time? Would you take action? By putting aside the time to do the things that you'd be doing, if you had infinite time, if you had infinite resources, you are starting to align with your highest self. And by prioritizing that, you're prioritizing your soul. And if it seems like, this is a great example because time is not as linear and as structured as people think. And so it's a great way to show that time and other resources, they come as needed. When you make time for what is important to you, you will have the time to do everything that you need to do. And time can condense or slow down. Like, have you really ever been super into something and time went like that? Or the same thing can happen the other way, like time slowed down, you were really focused on something. Or have you ever made like a deadline? I have to get this all done in an hour. I've usually, this takes me 4 hours, but I need to get it done in an hour. And somehow magically it happens just because you made that timeline. I think there's a specific word for that phenomenon where a task will only take the amount of time that you allot for it. And so that's what I mean by time stretching and condensing to your will. And it's the same thing with any other resource. If you put yourself in the position to need it, if you need the confidence for something, if you need the resource for something, it will come, but not until you've put yourself in that position to actually need it. So don't wait until you're ready. You do it and you become ready. The world gives you what you show up for. So start showing up as the version of yourself that is all these things: self-loving, confident, abundant, smart, beautiful, like whatever your heart's desire. Your clarity will create action, your action will create momentum, and your momentum will create a huge change in your life. Now, if you are ready to see these big results and you want support in acting on your highest excitement, if you want support doing the things that you know are going to push you forward, but you've been avoiding, or you haven't been able to overcome this obstacle for some, hidden, unknown reason. Maybe you have some negative beliefs holding you back. Definitely go follow my Instagram, tune into the podcast for more. If you're actually ready to see some results in your confidence, in your self-love journey, and you're ready to go up and talk to anybody about anything and receive a lot of love in your life just because of how in love with yourself you've become, definitely apply for my one-on-one coaching. I have some spots available for that. And I hope this was super helpful to you. I deeply appreciate all the reviews, all the likes. So if you want to give a little love offering, I would deeply appreciate your review as well. I read everything. I read every comment. I read every review. So I thank you so much, and I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this shorter podcast, and I will see you next week. Bye.